よいしょ。毎度のごとく音は入っているでしょうか。毎回不安になる。ちょっとね、さすがにホラゲー怖いし、これがホラゲーかどうかちょっと正直よく分かってないんだけど、まあちょっとね、調べた感じホラゲーっぽいなって感じしたし、怖くないかなって思って調べてたら、こうあんまり怖くないけどみたいな感じだったからあんまり怖くないけどまあ頑張れよみたいな、そんな感じだったから、怖いからちょっとね、まあ頑張っていきたいなとは思うけどねちょっと待って、サムネ変えるから。サムネをちゃんとする。配信者の鏡。よし。まあね、ちょっと今後ね、生配信の方でホラゲーの配信を増やしていこうと思うから、まあちょっと肩慣らし的なね感じでやっていけたらなって思う。ちょっといやー、ちょっと待ってね、なかなかね勇気が出なくて、とりあえずやっていこうか。ちょっと待って、背中ちゃんとくっつけるからちょっと待って、背中を椅子にくっつけて怖くないようにするからさ。よし、やるか。これどうやって始めんのあれ、船か。結構でかいな。これでズームで、なるほど。
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that.
早い。わからん。読めん。
With the house.
とりあえず事の始まり、つまり家のことから。お、動ける。
Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
この女の子、まあ声的に女の子はこのフェンスを乗り越えてきたんだ。おま、ちょっと待って、このオプションなんかいじれるかな。あら、×が決定ボタンか。クロスセアとかあんの？まああるか。ちょっと明るめでいこうか。走れないんだけど、こう走るゲームじゃないんか。歩くの遅くね。もう前そこまで住んでて、家の半分は立ち入りが許されていなかった。人いるんだけど、あれ人だよね。あれ人じゃないわ、看板だった。 看板ポストか。ポス
Inside the mailbox were
Oh,
bills from
手紙が。
7 years ago, marked urgent. Open immediately.
7年前の請求書。しばらく屋敷は使われてないの
I
かな。
hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
ルイス兄さんのお葬式以来持ってきたのは初めてだった。開けていく。もうすでに怖いんだけど。大丈夫かな。
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked.
鍵を残してくれたけど、どこを開けるのかはわからない。お母さんは死んじゃったんだ。
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
お母さんの足取りを追ってこの屋敷に来たみたいな感じなのかな。早速分かれ道なんだけど、ちょっとこっち行っていい？下から。びっくり要素とかやめてね。大丈夫かな。帰る。
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it.
家を
But now
こ
I
の
had
家を
questions
相
about my
続したん
family
だ。
that only the house knew the answers to.
なるほどね。不穏な BGM が鳴ってきたんだけど。怖い怖い怖い怖い。もうすでに怖いじゃん。あ、不穏じゃなくなった。
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent, as if they're about to say something but never do.
家あった。上ルート通っても下ルートと通っても行き着く場所は一緒だったんかな。これこっちだもんね、上ルート。だよね。で
The
け
house was
ー。
exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
いやいや、バランス悪い。ここは通れ、あっちか。なかなかに。
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what
17歳なん
those
だ。
words were. I was afraid of
ま
the
だ若い
house.
ね。
The house felt like it had always been here. Even the
なん
swing
か
set
喋っ
was
てる、なん
older
か
than my
喋ってる。
mother.
なんかありそうだな。あれブランコか。 とりあえず家に入る前に家の周り探索しよう。ペット用の出口は
I heard something moving around in the garage.
やめてくれー。やめてくれー。怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。ガレージってここだよね。ホワイトチョコみたいな色しやがって。いや、怖い怖い怖い。ちょっと周りこのまま探索しよう。下の方には特に何もないのかな。入るかー。ちょっと待って、ドキドキする。怖いよ。どっちから入る？こっちからもなんか入れそうだよね。覗けってこと？
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot
入っ
easier
た。
when I was 11.
犬用のドアをくぐっ犬用のドアをくぐったのか。
The power had been turned off the
電
night we
気
left.
はまあお金払わないと電気通らないからね。当然だね。ちょっと怖い。怖すぎて自分が何を言ってるのかわけわからない。物音が聞こえたのここら辺だったよな。物音が聞こえたけど何にもないんだね。ここは特に何もなしと。
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home.
家だ。家だ。
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
怖い。
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
いやーもうなんか生活感がすごいね。なんか神隠しにあったみたいな。
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
なんか
It was like a bomb had
あったの
gone
かな。
off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
ほんとそんな感じだよね。 何があったんだこの家で。なんかある。
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home.
おばあちゃんか。至って普通の家族なのかな。
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
沈んだ最初の家のレンガって何？へえ。今のところ特に双眼鏡だ。もう至って普通のこう家庭みたいな。
After Louis started working at the cannery, we all got pretty sick of salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
カツメ工場全部残ってんのか。どうしたんだろうねこの家は一体。
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library.
書庫のどこかに埋められてる。これは開かないんだ。あ、正面も開かなかったんだね。
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms.
寝室をすべて封印した。行方不明。本当に神隠
Then
し
Edie
みたいな。
retaliated and drilled peepholes.
反発して覗き穴を開けた。本当だ、全部塞がってる。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Louis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
この鍵か。
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
おお。
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
ここからが本番か。もう戻れないの？
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
へえ。
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
怖え。何これ。
But I had no idea what was behind that door.
もう普通の部屋じゃん。
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
これがその行方不明
I
に
grew
なっ
up
たミ
looking
ル
at Molly's
ト
room
ン。
through the peephole.
あ、モリーの部屋。
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
あ、なるほど。これが日記の主か。ネズミの餌。
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
ネズミの餌か。かわいそうに。お腹が空いて、それしか食べるものがなかったと。トイレの場所おかしくない？あ、これも
I ate a lot of things that night.
これ食べれるんだ。どういう作り物じゃないのか。で、ここはこれも、あ、これもか。
My Halloween candy was all
これ
gone.
はないのか。
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
お母さんもいたって普通のお母さん
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
いやでも閉じ込められてんだ。いやでもまあ危ないし。
I was a cat.
え、どういうこと？え、猫になっ、ん？え、あ、早い早い早い早い。あ、ジャンプできた、ジャンプできた。おお、急にアクションゲーになった。
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
おお。
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
ん？ちょっと待って、鳥はあ、ここか。こう進んでいって、この鳥を追っかけてどっかに行くと。
I jumped and I
どん
almost
どん
got her.
離れてるな。おお。え、なんかお茶会みたいのしてる。
I could tell she was getting really
違っ
tired.
たわ。全然違った。
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I
もう
gobbled
ちょい
her
だ。
up,
おお。捕まえた。
and suddenly I was an owl.
え、
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth
ど
nibbling
う
in
し
the
たんこの
grass.
女の子。え、ちょっと待って、何をす すればいいんだ。
Rabbits.
ウサギウサギウサギウサギウサギを食べるぞ。食べるぞ。ちょっと待って、操作が難しいんだ。バカ難しい操作。よし。よし。捕まえた。食べるぞ。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
食べ
I
た。
swallowed him up, and I didn't chew
一
one bit.
口。
Then I flew off to
こ
find
んなの子
something
結
bigger.
構えぐいな。もっと大きいのってさ、そこまで来るとなんか食われそう。
A
逆に
mama rabbit.
お母さんのウサギ捕まえるぜ。あ、おし。判定緩いな。
She was almost too big to
判定
carry.
が横に
I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
食べた。あ
And suddenly, I was a shark.
そんなサメいやいやいや、あ、引っかかっちゃった。そろそろ死ぬぞ。エラ呼吸だからそろそろ死ぬぞこのサメ。早く水に行かないと。
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
食欲すごいな。お、なんかいる。捕まえる。ち
I
ょっ
wanted
と
fat,
難しい。
juicy seals.
あ、鹿がいい。おーし、食べた。
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
結構グロいんだよな。あ、いたいたいたいた。食べるぞ。
Grabbed on tight.
うわ
So hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
次は何になったんだ。
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
今度は怪物になったの。あ、なるほど。これが行ったところに行くんだ。ほほほほほ。怪物か。じゃあこれ出てくんのかな後で。背
I
面。
was big, but I moved real quiet.
あれ食べるぞ。誰か知らないけど。ははははは。忍者だな。食べるぞ食べるぞ。やっぱりお腹が空いた時は食べないとね。
I wanted to stop, but also
Slice.
I didn't.
歌ってんね。歌ってる場合か。歌ってる場合か。そのまま食べちゃおう。 越えられないのか。あら、船長っぽいやつのとこにはどうやって行くの。ああ、あ、ちょっと待って、これはどうしたことだ。バグか、完全なるバグかバグか。ちょっと待って、怖いな。ちょっと待ってね。終わったな、これな。積んだっぽいぞ。バグったー。実績解除したし。ちょっと一回戻ろうか。セーブデータとかあんの。ちょっと待って、じゃあタイトルに戻りたいんだよな。操作方法がいまいち分かってないんだけど。もう一回初めっからにするか、じゃあ。またこっからかいやー、今のバグはすごいね。
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry
さっ
about
さ
that.
とじゃあ進めていこう。
I'm
怖
just
くな
gonna
いの
start
は
at the beginning
あるから。
with the house.
じゃあどんどん進んでいこうか。いや、
I
つ
lived
れ
here
え。
until I was 11, but
今
I
のバグ
wasn't
本当
allowed
何だっ
inside
たん
half
だ
of
ろう。
the rooms.
とりあえずちょっと
Inside the
こう開
mailbox were
け
bills from
て。
7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
せっかくだからさっき通ってない道行こうか。
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
蹄の跡。クマさんかなんかいらっしゃるのかもね。あ、動物がいる。まあいるよな。さすがにこんな山奥だったら動物の1匹2匹いるわ。
but now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
フィンチ家の謎をこの家が握ってるんだ。
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
入るか。
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
セーブ中って出てんの今気づいたんだけどさ、これタイトルに戻る方法あったんかな。わかんないんだよな。これね、ゲームを落としちゃうと配信が終わっちゃうから
I felt like I was
多分
home.
どうなんだろう。多分終わっちゃうと思うんだけど。
Nothing in the house looked abnormal.
だから
There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
塞いだってさ、人が中にいる状態で塞いだんから。
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
外からいやでもあれ
The
か。
last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was
さっき
painting
の
my
猫にな
portrait.
った女の子を閉じ込められてたもんな。でも一応お母さんが全ての鍵を握ってたのかな。さっき見てなかっ
Whenever
たし。
people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
なんか有名なお家なんだね。
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left. Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
あ、バーバラは子役だったから有名なのか。
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
あー、なるほど。あ、なんかちゃんと書いてあるね。これ自体はいつの話なんだろう。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room.
ウォル
He
ターお
always
じい
told
さん
me
だ
there
よ。
were secret passages, but I never believed him.
じゃあ鍵を開けちゃおう。ちょっとお茶飲む。お茶。いやー、緊張しちゃ
Turns
っ
out,
てね。
my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
喉乾くよね。
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
オープンザドア。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it
ミル
sounds like
ト
I had a
ンってい
plan.
うのはこの主人公と近い家族っていうか、まあ兄弟
But I
で
had no idea what was behind that door.
でこの部屋の主はもう死んじゃってる人なんだね。
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
じゃあ 食べますか。
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
いっぱい食べよ
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
う。よし。
I ate a lot of things that night.
ちょっと挙動が怪しいんだよな。
Then I heard chirping
なん
outside
か
my
扉貫
window.
通したりしてる気がする。
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a
向
cat.
こうになって、さっさと進んでいくか。
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
いや、道は割と覚えてるから。あ、こっちか。こっち行って、
I
飛び
jumped
降
and I
り
almost
て、
got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
よ
I
し、
gobbled her
捕まえる
up,
と。
and suddenly I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I
次
heard
は
little teeth
ウサギを
nibbling
食べる
in
と。
the grass. Rabbits.
ウサギへ。ほら、ほら。よし。これが弱肉強食。
I imagined his face looking up and seeing
Good
mine
there.
through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit.
いや、フロ
Then
ー
I flew off to find something bigger.
丸飲みって。できんのかな。でもフクロウは知らないけど、
A
タ
mama
カとか
rabbit.
って結構でかかったっけ。本物を見たことないからわかんないんだけど。
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And
そ
suddenly,
したら
I was a
サ
shark.
メになると。絶対ここで引っかかるんだな。よっしょい、よいしょ。
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
よし、じゃあアシカさんをいただこうかな。
I wanted fat, juicy seals.
ちょっと待って、わかんなくなった。あ、いやいやいやいやいや。ここ操作難しいんだよね。3次元3次元っていうか、平面移動だけじゃないから。ちょっと上向いちゃう。カメラ移動反転させたいな。 べて、
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
日記を残してるってことは女の子がこの後生きてたか、まあ実は夢でしたみたいな、そういうオチなんだろうね。
I grabbed on tight,
これ日記だもんね、あの女の
but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
子怪
When
物
I
にやって
opened
ま
my
した。
eyes, everything changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
よいしょ。
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
食べるぜ。あの大きい人を丸飲みか。ういな
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
外から回って船長さんを食べるか。いやー、食べることに対しても快感を覚えてきている。よし、僕気づかなかったんだよね、さっき。食べるぜ。
After the last passenger, I was still hungry.
全部食べ終わった。
Across
ま
the
だ
water
完成
was
形じゃない。
something new.
水辺の向こうから
Something
匂
I
いが
had
し
to
た。
have, so I swam towards it.
何あ、まだ怪物のままなの。
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
パイプの中、ネズミかなんかかな。トイレじゃん。あ、さっきの部屋か。モリーちゃんの部
I
屋。
got closer and closer.
何をするんだ？ここは開くかな？ここは開かなくて、窓の方か？あ、なんかある。
All my stomach
す
started
べての
growling,
胃袋がぐるぐる言い始めて。
and suddenly I was me again.
おう。
I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I
書いてる。
delicious.
食べられたの？あの怪物がラスボスかなんか。
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would
なるほど。
have.
こうやって埋めていくんだ。一番右上が主人公で、一番左下今書いたのがモリーちゃん。なるほど。ちょっと見てみるとさ、みんな死んでるんだよね。この主人公以外みんな死んでる。弟か妹かわかんないけど、兄弟っぽいやつも。何があったんだ。みんなこの家で死んだのか。
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
なるほど。この人も
Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
富と不運。やっぱなんかこの家にはなんかがいるのかな。出てくんのかな。この移動速度であんなん出てこられたらもう死んじゃう。いや、それぞれの部屋にトイレあるんだよな。トイレ多すぎ。
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
特にここには何もなし。
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
これが主人公か。あ、もう一回見れる。あ、あれか。×ボタンで進めるのか。×かなんかね。丸でやってたわ。あら？だってこれをなんか進めるんだと思うんだけど。わからん。あ、これか。
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
それがここか。
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
なるほど。
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
オーディンさんがこの物語の一番最初の祖先か。
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
何かしらすごい不運に見舞われてる一家なんだな。ここはお風呂。なんかある。同じ鍵か。鍵開けて。
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look.
こと。
It isn't in the cupboard.
あ、戸棚にあるわけじゃなくて。あ、なるほどね。あった。
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
こういう隠し部屋憧れるよね。欲しいわ。なんか隠し部屋で一日生活してみたい。おお、新しい部屋。 子供部屋かな。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin,
外して、
and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
お、なんかある。これも日記か？
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
おー。ブランコをこげと。なんかいるし。右の方に誰かいる。あれ、蹴るか。今からあの男蹴りますよみたいな足の動きしてるよね。気のせい？
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
いや、一向に。ちょっと待って、ミスった。一向にブランコがなんか進まないけど。でもブランコ漕ぐ以外にやることないんだけど。これは。あ、なるほど。これ両足動かせるんだ。
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
サムとカルビン。
But
ああ、
that day,
これ
he
が
finally made up his mind
サ
to
ム
do
と
it.
カルビンだね。
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
言ってなかったら。
I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the
こ
wind
のブ
hadn't
ラン
picked
コで
up,
遊んでるのがカルビン。ん
then
落ちる
maybe
のか。
he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
風が
I think he'd
強く
already
て
made up his mind.
ブランコから落ちたり
That's what I want to remember about my brother.
するのか。ちょっと待って、ちょっとこのままブランコを動かすことに多少罪悪感を感じてしまうんだが、どうなるんだ。ちょっと待って、怖い。落ちる。落ちる。落ちる落ちる落ちる富士急ハイラン
The day he
ド。お
made
い
up his mind to fly, and he did.
飛んだ。飛んだな。
Calvin's story felt strangely
いやな、カ
familiar.
ルビン。
When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
あの
After the
まま
funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
カルビン側を立ち入り禁止にした。こっちか。あ、このロープがその立ち入り禁止のあれだったんか。お、ここはまた隠し部屋か。いや、憧れるね。ほんとこれ。だんだんこう、怖いっていうよりテンションが上がってきたんだけど。結構ね、面白い。思ったよりこう怖さよりこう早く続き見たいみたいな感じが強いね。
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
おお、ここはさっきの子役の女の子の部屋
Growing
か。
up, I always thought of Barbara as a
バーバラ
child
か。
star.
バーバラちゃんの部屋、汚な。汚な。ハッピーバースデー、バーバラ。何これ？ピザ。ちょっと食べてるね。
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
人気子役だったけど、もう相手されなくなっちゃったと。
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved
バー
this
バラ
one.
の死について書かれた多くの話の中で、うんたらかんたら。
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
お父さん。
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
いや、こんな。
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box.
怖い。
The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes
おはようござい
later,
ます。
Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him. Right
漫
on
画みたいな感じで書かれてるけど、なかなかにえぐい話
She
をされ、お、
reached for the music box.
回せる回
And
せる。
as she wound the key, she
My
listened
key.
for Rick, but the house was silent.
開けて、あ、漫画の中動けんの。え、嫌なんだけど。絶対誰かいいんじゃん。ねえ、ハロウィン集団暴れてるって言ってたじゃん。
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
え、いやいやいや、死んでんじゃん。絶対死んでるじゃん。え、あ、振った。ホラゲー慣れるためにちょっとあんまり怖くないって聞いたからこれちょっとやってみてるんだけどね。まあ今のところそんなに、あ、通れたわ。怖いかっていうとまあって感じ。悪名だとキフックマン、家族を突き刺し食べたと言われています。あ、さっきのあれか、ハロウィン集団か。怖いって食べてんじゃないの？ これなん何に使ったんだよ。怖い怖い怖い怖い。おう。進んでいって、ちょっと後ろはします。ほらほらほらほらほらほらほら。え、ちょっと振るのやめないで。振れなくなっちゃった。おう。
Oh dear.
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
びっくりした。
I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
さすがにちょっと今びっくりしたわ。
Have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
また音楽が怖いじゃん。だって今回で一番怖いかもね。今回でっていうかこれまでで2回か。まだ触れるんだ。その松葉杖。いやいやいやいや、なんか赤いよ。なんか赤いよ。大丈夫？気のせいかな。あ、気のせいだった。T って字だった。
Orcas Island police described the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
え、
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing.
おー、クリティカルヒット。
He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
どっから逃げる？どっから逃げる？あ、そうだ。
She played her part beautifully.
モリーの部屋に来て、クリティカルヒット、ラップで使うか？開けて、いる。あ、殴れって。よく気づかないな。ほら。
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
ちょっと待って。あれじゃないよ。上から話しかけた、なんかお兄ちゃんか弟か知らないけど、その人じゃないよね。 え、いな、
had vanished.
後ろ。
She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... Someone at the door was dying to speak to young
無
Barbara.
理無理無理無理無理無理。
At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
え、なになに、後ろ。
Oh dear.
二人。おお。
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were,
さ、さっ
and
き
she realized
ハロウ
what
ィン
was
集
about
団
to
が
happen.
暴れ回ってるぜみたいなニュース。
She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance
Eh?
of her life.
なになになに。あ、え、
I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent.
怖っ。
Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom.
怖いけ
But
ど、
unfortunately, so
わ
did
けわ
her
かんない。
fans.
どうし
Of
た？
course, the police blamed it all
Eh?
on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's
ウ
another
ルター
story.
は生きてたんだ。
As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear.
え
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
普通にこの今までのフィンチ系の話の中で一番怖いがバーバ
Amy
ラ
told me all
そこ
Barbara
か。
wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was.
ウォルター
Maybe
が
what you saw
右の
was a
方にいる
happy
ね。
ending.
ずっとカーベットの下に隠れてたウォルターくん。いやー、だんだん分かってくるね。で、ちょっと待って、道が閉ざされてしまったが、あった。あ、ここから戻るのか。
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music
あ、
box.
分かれ道があったんか、ここ。よいしょ。あ、出てきたね。ここからさらになんか別の
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement
道
key.
があるのかな。あ、地下に行くんだ。やだー。やなんだけど。地下行くの。バーバラの死体とか転がってないよな。なんか、このゲームそんな直接的な表現はしないっぽいから。大丈夫か。お、抜けた。開けて、おお、さっきのまんまだ。 そうなると
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
地下は立ち入り禁止だったのか。いや、怖いもんね。結構怖いもんね。
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
なんか隠されてんのか
I
な。
thought maybe she was hiding presents.
これか。
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
何
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
ウォルターはどこに行ったのか。ウォルター
She
か。
said after Barbara died, he got as far
バーバ
away
ラ
as
が
he
亡くなっ
could.
た後、彼はできる限り遠ざかった。ベッ
If
ドの
there's a
下マン
pattern in
か。
all these stories,
ベッドの下マンのなんか死に方が気になる。
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
あ、ウォルターは長生きだったんだね。ベッドの下マン。
Goodbye, everyone. I can't
ここに
believe
い
I've
て
been
もう
down here for 30
30
years.
年。おう、
On that
始まっ
first
た。
day, after the shaking started, I didn't think
え
I'd survive.
地震
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me
生
sane.
活じゃん。
Having a schedule,
地下生
and
活
living
を
for
送って
today.
たんだな。お
I
お。
always expected to be dead tomorrow.
なんで
But if you wait long enough, you get
な
used
ん
to
で定期
anything.
的に揺れるの
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to
化
feel
け物
normal.
ってな。ああ、
Almost friendly.
さっきのか。
And then one day, everything just stopped.
おお、止まった。
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
毎日同じの食べてんじ
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years.
ゃん。おお、
I'm done
Wait.
waiting.
待つのままいい。
I have to leave. Well, I still can.
2005年だよね。この人死ぬ年じゃないの、2005年。こっから死ぬのか。とりあえず開けて、
I know it's out
怖い
there
な
somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara
バーバラを殺した何か。
and Molly.
まだいんの？モリーも殺されたの？ああ、あれか、タコみたいなやつか。
And Calvin.
カルビン。カルビンは自分で飛んでったんじゃないの？
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
なんかに殺されてるんだ。やっぱりじゃあ。
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day.
死亡フラグやめろ。
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
え？電車？え、あんなとこに電車？
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
いやいやいやいやいや、おかしいおかしい。いろいろとおかしいって。降りんの？いや、結局オルターは怪物に殺されたとかじゃなくて、電車なんだ、ね。
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
ウォルターの存在をこの主人公は知らなかったのか。
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
いや、もしかしたら誰か生きてるかもしれない。なるほど。
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two.
あ、なるほど。上から降ってきたのか。今使ってる線路に。今っていうか当時使ってた線路に。そりゃ惹かれるわ。かわいそうに。
Maybe we believed so much in a family curse. We made it real.
ああ。ウォルター。ああ、もう線路もないんだね。なんかもう家から出ちゃったけど。
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
え、着いた。
But I thought you should know about your family.
着く誰かいるじゃんこれ絶対。
And the history you're a part of.
あなたがその一部となる歴史を。
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
この奥に誰か生きてる。
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
どこだ？そっちか。ん？ちょっと待って、進むべき道が分からなくなってしまった。そこは特に何もないもんね。あった階段。いやー、まあ、電気が通ってるからね、絶対電気代を払ってる誰かがいるはず。あ、最初の家？これ。あ、最初のとこか。なんで電気ついてんだ？
Any of it seems possible.
さっきつかなかったのに。 ブランコのとこがここここ。暗。
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
おう。
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? だんだんなんかストーリーの核心に何あれ The pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
あ
3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
この中にはいない人たちだもん。
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
バーバラ、ウォルター、エディ。ああ、一番下の人か。エディ、スベン。この人いないな。カルビン、モリー。ああ、それぞれがなんか、これだな。
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was
これ
always
がオ
trying
ーデ
to
ィンの
move
記念
on,
碑。
but for Edie, the past never went away.
逆に墓が
She
な
could
い
see it
人は
poking out of the water at low tide.
生きてる可能性がある。なんだあれは。
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
ちょっと待って。あ、終わりか。これで終わり？
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
サム？ああ。いるね。サム、ガス。グレゴリー。
She
いっぱい
lost
あ
2
る。
of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone.
どん
There's
だ
so
け
many
神
things I
殿。
wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
これで終わるの？なんかもうだんだんクライマックス感が出てきたけど。
But looking back on it now,
セーフされた。
if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
妊娠22週目の体なの？無理すんね。もう生まれんじゃん。もうちょいじゃんだって。 無理しすぎでは。結構アクロバティックな動きしてるよ。だからなんかやたら
I
歩く
never
の
met
遅いの
Grandpa
か。
Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
ここからま
They
た
were both pretty intense.
あれか、それぞれのストーリーか。サム。
Dawn, I
Oh.
promise you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
What? It's too early, Dad.
Perfect.
おう、撮った。
It's gonna rain the whole
写真を
weekend,
撮れと。
isn't it?
そういうミッションか。
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay,
Oh,
got
oh.
it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
ピント合わせて、
Aw.
まだなんか撮れてる。
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
あれか？なんだあれ？あれか。何かを取らなきゃいけない。特に何も見当たらない。え？どうしよう。取らないと殺される。進まなくなっちゃった。困った困った。とにかくいろんな場所を取ろう。あれか？あれなんでもないわ。ちょっと待って。
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
こっち側抜けたのか。あれか。あれおじいちゃんか。
Hold still while I take a picture.
おじいちゃん。
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff
ああ、
if you want to survive.
これ
I'll
は
be
ドー
fine,
ン。
Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
あれか DAW なんとかみたいな
I'm being
綴り
serious.
の人
I
か
know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere.
さっき通ってきた道かな。
I bet if I could remember where that
あれ
trail
もあれ
was,
は
we'd spot a buck for you in no
時系
time.
列的に違うか。
Give me a minute to check the map. You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo.
フィルムも高いからね。
Let's see. Maybe.
いや、平和すぎん。
Could have been.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don.
お、鹿じゃん。あ、終
Before
わ
you
った。
take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
あ、
Dad, I...
セリフが途中で終わってしまった。
Right behind you.
鹿かな。
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do
あ、ちょっ
anything.
と待って。
If you want to survive, you need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready.
鹿さんを。
Great shot, Don.
撃ったー。鹿さん。泣いてる。
I'm proud of you, Don.
あ、
Always remember that,
おじいちゃん
okay?
が動いた。おじいちゃんが動くのか。
Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer.
あ、あれか。セルフタイマーだ。
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's...
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
あ、おじいちゃん。そういう
Of all these stories,
悲しい。
that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
悲しい。それはなんかもう普通にかわいそうなんだけど。怪物がどうのとかじゃなくても普通になんかもう
After
かわい
Sam
そうすぎ
died,
る。
my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
わあ、子供たちの部屋か。あ、さっきの鹿を撃った女の子。これはグレゴリー。 アメリカ語読めないんだよな。
Dear Kay,
ああ、日本語。
do you remember the
日本
way
語対応
Gregory
してる。
used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
怖っ。赤ちゃん。赤ちゃんだったのか。あ、まあ、
I
絵
think
も
he
赤ちゃ
saw
んだったよ。
things the rest of us don't.
見てる。なるほど。
Bartend over, Gregory.
そっ
It's
ちか。
time to... Hold on, sweetie.
おー。
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
アヒルが飛んでる。これが見えてたのか。仲間が増える。おーおーおーおー。
I know how silly it sounds.
おお、洗剤？
But I
あ
worried
んま
about
り
a
赤
baby
ちゃん
being
が
too happy.
赤ちゃんがそういうの良くないんじゃない
I
か。
could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Eh?
Hold on, I don't want Grapefruit to hear this.
まだカエルが動く。こっから何が起こるの？え？特になんかあれか。
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
溺れる溺れる。グレゴリー。
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything.
誰かに殺されただろこれ。絶対。
Know what happened wasn't your fault.
犯人がいるんじゃないか。焦点。
Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
なんかフィンチ家の誰か犯人なんじゃないか。いやー、だんだんなんかな。
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
文字を回収して。読めない。なるほど。裏返して。
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart.
もちろん父さんは
Flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside
いや
his
いや
heart.
日本語になった途端長え。元からなんか日本語だけどなんか違う。絶対変わってる。なんか英語版の長さになってる絶対これ。
We don't need a stepmom were the words that I know.
そんなことないか。ここからどうしろと言うんだ。何もできないが。また進行不能バグとかやめろよ。なんかあるよな。こっちにも回れる。
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
中指。結構そこ悪いな。結構なかなかグレてるよ。
Geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
なんか落ちてきたんじゃない？
Rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
回収してテントが壊れた。テント壊れた。
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
おほほほほ。いや、えぐいえぐい。死ぬ死ぬ。これがシーン。なんなん。あ、これがシーン。ああー。いや、まだいける。まだい
I wish
ける。
that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
What?
But I didn't. Until we found you.
ああ。これがシーン。本当になんかもうい
She
ろ
never
ん
talked
な
about him, but Mom
いろ
told
ん
me
なルー
once
トで
if
死ん
I
でる
was
な。
a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
このあれか、ドーンって人が主人公のお母さんで、ドーンさんが2016年まで来てるからあれか、2016年か17年ぐらいの話なんかこれ。ドーンがお母さんで、ミルトンとなんかレヴィスみたいな人が、この主人公の兄弟。お、登れる。
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
これがお母さん。
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
だいぶ古いパソコンだな。今日ツイッターで見たぞ。シャープ公式のツイッターで見たぞ、これ。今日から、うちで見つけましたって見た、これ。で、ここで、あえて赤赤く。
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
お母さんはここでは死んでないから特にイベントは起こらないか。
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
お父さんも亡くなったのか。
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
あれ増築した家があの上に積んだ変な家か。
Things were good.
えぐいな、積み方が。
But it didn't last.
まあしばらくは平和だったか。
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
ここも塞がれてる。ミルトン。
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
ミルトンの部屋だったんだ。ミルトン死んでることになってないし、ワンチャン生きてる。いなくなったってだけだもんね、今のところ。上に登って、あ、死んだんだ。いやでも死んだことになってない。あれか、まあさっき言ってた記念碑みたいなもん
Milton
か。
Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
おお、パラパラ漫画。これに入ってくとか。あ、入ってた。書いたのは
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
ミルトンだよな。 ルトンも自分で消えたのか。ドアを作って。
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
ドアを作ったわけではないと思うけど。あ、書いた扉がこれか。この中に入ってったみたいなね。
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
ミルトンがこの家の何かを知ってしまった的なあれお母さんに消された的なあれ。いや、それはないだろうけど、さすがにね。ここからどうしよう。あ、上がある。
Mom definitely blamed
まだこんなにあんの
Katie,
家。
but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
ああ、もう一人のお兄さんか。ルイス。
Everyone always told me to stay out of Louis's room. Except Louis.
すごい部屋だな。これが一番下のその ED を、以外で最後のフィンチ家の人たちか。
That part of him lived on.
ゲーマーだな結構強そうなパソコン持ってんじゃん。あ、なんかある。
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
あ、工場か。
He kept working at the cannery.
難しいな、工場の仕事。よいしょ、掴んで頭を切って流すと。頭を切って流すと。頭を切って。
His mind began to wander.
ん？あ、動いた。
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
両方同時に動かすの忙しいな。
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
あ、いけない。はい。
And things that have not names.
この下か。
He knew it was all in his head.
魚。急にリアルななんか。
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
おう。
But he found something more.
RPG みたいな。
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. like a whole new Lewis.
人が変わっ
So I let him
た
go
のか。
on.
この仕事やり続けておかしくなったのかな。
I even encouraged him.
ああ、だんだんなんか RPG が
It
広がっ
seemed
てき
very
て。
promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
もう犬だ。新しい友達。
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
魚切りながら白チューム。みんな白チューム。
And songs for them to play.
これさ、右のハモンドで手切ったとか言わないよ
About
なし。
starting a band. And he was always humming something.
こっから詩吟になりうるものがそれしかないんだけ
Every
ど。
day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
ああ、気づいた。
So he could do whatever he wished.
え、どういうこと？何でも好きなことをできるじゃないか。薬中がもう大変なところまで来てるの。
He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Lewis.
RPG だ。
St. Louis.
セントルイス。
He
さ
started
難しい
drifting
なこれ。
away from
カー
our
ブが
reality.
描けない。
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother
帰宅する
pleaded
の
with
を忘れ
him,
た？
part of Lewis kept sailing on.
あ、もうずっと何を言われても聞かないで
In Lewisburg,
魚
he
の
heard
頭を切り
rumors of
続け
a
たのか。ルイスパークという町で噂を耳にしたのは女王様のところ行きますか。じゃあ
handsome queen.
急になんかモザイクみたいになってるけど。
The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows.
虹を見よう。あ石を
Followed the sound
倒
of
してしま
her
った。銀のハー
silver harp. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
さて死因は
Even then, his logic remained sound.
まだ死なないか。いやもうでも全部妄想になってきてんじゃん。
He knew the world was all in his
魚魚魚
imagination.
魚邪魔ちょっと
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
魚を切りながらこんなこと考えてるやつすごいな。
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of the Golden Palace.
空想からこっちが現実になってしまったのか。
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
あ、魚がなくなった。え？あ、工場か。急に現実に戻されたな。
He began to forget the world we know.
おう。あ、酒工場。
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
あの人は
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
あ、想像のルイスと本物のルイスか。これが本物のルイスで、鮭つかめてないよ。いやーもう怖い薬中じゃん。
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise
冷静に考えたら今鮭が通るべきベルトコンベヤーに流されてるんだよ。こっから死因が想像できないんだけど。
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one
割と
thing
最初
left
の
to
方
do.
怪物に殺された人以外は割と現実的な死に方してるんだよ。
Bend down his head.
ギロチンじゃない？これギロチンだよね。ギロチンだよね。行きたくないんだけど。やだ。ルイスを殺せと。自分に殺せと。やだよ。ねえ。罠じゃん。しょうがねえ。これがギロチンだ。
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
自殺したのか。
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
この家で死んだ人はもうこれで全員かな、おそらく。だからあとはこの家をどっか行くって言っても特に何もない。でもなんだかんだミルトンの行方だけが気になるね。こっちもう一回行けるようになったりしないかな。しない、帰るだけか。あ、ドーンって書いてある。これがドーンの部屋か。部屋っていうかなんていうかって感じだけど。あ、ミルトン。あ、あれか。庭的なね。家庭菜園的なね。あれ戻れない。あ、戻った戻った。大体のことはやり終えたんだよな。帰りたいんだけど、帰れるかどうか。どっから来たっけ？ちょっと暗くて見えない。あ、ここか。あれ？ああ。ん？通れないな。じゃあまだお兄さんの部屋で何かすることがあった？一回戻るか。それでも何もなかったらなんとかしてあの枝を渡るしかない。 あ、あったわ。
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
あったあった。見逃してたね。EXIT。ここからさらに上。
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
イーディはここで死んだのか。じゃ
I wish we'd stayed.
あ、あ、でも老人ホームに入ったって言ってたっけ。
But I understand why we left. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
あの夜に起こったこととは。いやー、なんか終わりそうだね。そろっと。
But it had to
この
end
家の頂上に。
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
これか。主人公の部屋か。
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
おばあちゃんには反対されてたんだな。おばあちゃん置いて。
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
ああ、書庫だ。書庫はあれ最初覗いた時とちょっと形が違う気がする。
Isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
昔の家があったんだ。
God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
結構前墓がいっぱいあるところに
But I never thought I'd go
あ
back
った
to it.
望遠鏡から見えたところが前の家か。
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. seeing things.
おお、鹿。
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
あ、どこにいるんだ今。あ、
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends.
家か。
That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
いやー、ボロボロだな。いや、扉の仕組みとかは上の方の今
Things
の
I
いる家
can't
と同じなの。
explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
びっくりした。
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
おばあちゃん。
The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
施設に送ろうとしてたけど、もうダメだったんだよ、おばあちゃん。どこに行ったんだ。
We both tried to make the best of it.
コントローラーが揺れる。
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
え？
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
あなたって誰？
If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
何誰？
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
誰が生きてんの？
This journal was supposed to be for you.
勝手に進む。元から分かってたの？
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now,
ミルトン以外誰か
things didn't work out that way.
生きてるの？
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
え？死んでる。え？急すぎん？どうしたの？ エンディングが始まったんだけどえ、どういうこと？終わった。エリスは無事子供を産めたんだね。で、子供が墓参りに来たっていうあれなのかな、最後は。なんでみんな子供なんだ写真が。いやー、謎でもあんまりあれだね。ありがとうヨハン、実績が解消されたちょっと怖いよっていうのは聞いてたけど、そこまでだったね。本当にちょっと怖いぐらい。でも結局謎は分からずじまい。死因はわかるんだけどね。まあ最初の猫になったこと、怪物に殺された人はちょっと死因わからなかったけど、それ以外はね、大体割と現実的な死因だったからあれだけど、この後になんかあんのかな。そろそろ終わるか。おお。ジエンド。なんか謎だな。ストーリーをリプレイするオプションが追加されました。最初からプレイする場合、今エリスを選択してください。終わった。いや面白かったけど謎いな。この最初の女の子はずっと動かしてたエリス・フィンチさんじゃないんだ。エリス・フィンチさんの子供で、もうおそらく墓参りに行く途中なんだね。これ とまあ謎が多いゲームですが、じゃあここで終わりにいたしましょうか。ちょっとおのおのこれをね見て考察していただければと思いますが、楽しい、こういう後に考察する余地をくれるゲームっていうのはなかなかね面白いですね。ところでじゃあ今回は配信ここで終わりにいたしましょうか。ご視聴ありがとうございました。一気にできてよかった。じゃあバイバーイ。